Revelation. Now, this episode is the big one. The big one before the big one. The dawn of the second day. Revelation is a lot. It takes the whole entire season's worth of plot threads, secret clues, hidden hints, and ties it all together into one big mega bomb. Now, granted, this mega bomb for the ultra observant that isn't completely absorbed into the fiction and works outwardly is already massively revealed if you connect the dots. But for those back when season 2 originally premiered and rewatches weren't possible, not until much later, the bomb here dropped is a massive one. It's big. And it's all centered around, well, how contact ends. Jeremy thinks he can finally unlock Franz Hopper's lost diary and figure it all out. But it's gonna take him activating a tower again. This hasn't happened for 5 episodes since Tip Top Shape. But here we are again. Jeremy's messing with Lyoko's internals again, but this time for a more logical and practical reason. In the meantime, though, it's up to the Lyoko Warriors to play tower defense. It's Warriors versus monsters. Gotta keep those monsters off your lawn. And for the most part, it looks like it's gonna work out until it doesn't. Odd yet Xena napped and put into the Hermitage's storm drain to drown to death. Boy, oh boy. Xana's subtlety is now gone and it's now anger and bitter hatred. So the team's down one. But of course, just like in Tip Top Shape, Xana's planning to take the tower for himself and halt the progress. Which, after a thrilling and tense actual battle battle that is emotionally charged takes place, he actually almost succeeds. The only emphasis on the almost is because the figure from Contact is back. Rance happens to be there, takes control of the tower, and super accelerates the program, unlocking the diary. Now, the reason I go through all this so mundanely is because even though this is big tension, this is kind of big important, what it all this is kind of window dressing. It all leads to one scene and one scene only. In fact, the final minute and a half. The diary, now unlocked, has revealed a bunch of stuff to Jeremy. And Jeremy's out here ready to drop truth bombs. He explains that all the other things discovered throughout the season, the deed to the house, the doll, the creation of Lyoko itself, the multi-agent system, all of it, true. But it's not the biggest revelation that the diary gives away. France had a daughter. Now, normally, this wouldn't be so shocking. Oh, a sixth Lyoko member, perhaps. No, the daughter's been sitting right here. The episode does a good job at hanging the cliff, but it's not really such a bold cliff. In fact, the show's been giving it away. In total, there are 15 references all throughout the 51 episodes before the truth is revealed. Some of them are meant to be plot points and easy dots to keep you hooked into the mystery. Others are scattered jokes, lines thrown out in the middle to make a good laugh or to lower the tension or heighten the tension of a scene. Like the whole recorded conversation in A Great Day, or or references to AI or robots or things becoming real. In fact, the entire notion of even a few episodes like Attack of the Zombies or other things where normally unnormal sentient things are given sentience. All throughout the themes of season 2, from the many specters and even France showing up pseudo in the flesh in episode 49, all of it is connected to one central theme: the idea of AI as living beings given cognitive thought. But Revelation turns this thought process of an overall theme and turns it directly into itself, and thus morphing the theme. Remember how I said at the beginning of the season 2 Aelita Diaries that the series Bible itself was completely and totally altered to meet a different challenge. This challenge would take a year and a half to attain. The year and a half was to do this: to flip the series Bible completely on its head and lead to one ultimate revelation. Aelita is not an AI program. She is a human being. She is not a program given sentience like the specters or the many possessed creatures over the course of the other 50 episodes to this point. She has always been human, from day one-ish. This revelation turns the relevancy of the clues throughout season 2 completely and utterly into a different context. All the visions are not just visions, they're memories, slowly restored, disconnected, of a life lived before, disremembered. All of a sudden, the connecting pieces If season 1 of Code Lyoko is about the world itself and learning the mechanics and learning about the team, then season 2 is truly the origin story. It's Aelita's story. The entire series is essentially her story. From defenseless victim to conquering hero, all throughout the stage of 4 parts, and part 2 being the most important and most effective. The ultimate Scipio secret has been revealed. That's why the name for this part of our journey. It all leads up to here, the ultimate reveal that all is not what it has seemed, that for 50 episodes we have been given a lie deliberately, only to find out the truth, not only of Ryoko's creation itself, but the tragedy in trying to keep it going, to keep the world's most evil force at bay. The tragedy of a broken home, broken family, and now an uncertain future. As the one person that could solve it, we don't know where he is. And now, this person who thought she was relearning or learning how to be human has to come to the grips of she already knew. And now has to come down with the fact that the very thing she's been fighting this whole time is the very reason her life isn't normal. It twists the knife brutally, tragically, but the tragedy is not over. The tragedy is just beginning. Because all it would take is 22 minutes to put an exclamation point on that tragedy. That comes next week. Revelation is a 5 out of 6 episode. Although the action points and even Xana trying to get rid of Odd is low sense stakes. The biggest reveal of them all makes it worth watching, especially if you paid attention. But next week, we end season 2 proper with an episode that I have only watched in completion twice. An episode so emotional, so gripping. Even when I was 22 years old, it wrecked me to the very core of my being. An episode that I have refused to rewatch on my own time. An episode so devastating that I openly skip it, much like season 3 in totality. But here, for this series, I must face the demon. I must face the devastation, review it, put a pin on it, as we end part 2 of our 4-part journey. Not without the season review in totality, of course. With episode 52, The Key. It comes next week on January 2nd. So, until that day, guys, find peace. Thanks for watching, guys. By January 7th, Season 2 will end. And then the next week after that, you get the Season 2 totality review, where I give the entire season a score. And then, on the anniversary of the beginning of our journey, January 17th, we will begin Season 3. Yep, that season. The season most forgotten. We will begin it then. So, until next week, Happy New Year, belated, because today will be January 2nd. And I'll see you, possibly in a wreck, next week.